So to go over some of those review criteria, next section, just real quick, you know, we need to look at from a review perspective, do the top three alternatives align with section 210? Because in section 210, that's when they're describing their alternatives. Do the existing cost worksheet align with the baseline processes and system is what they're requesting, what they explained in their stage 2. Does the funding align vertically? Do the staffing resources indicated cover all the activities in the project phases outlined in 211 recommended, and the staffing plan, which I know we talked about earlier, that, you know, when you're looking at the FAWs, that staffing plan should match what's in the FAWs. So very good place to look. Also the org chart. Does the baseline cost in your stage 4, section 413 match your FAWs? So when the department is entering their final baseline cost, they should match exactly what's going to be on their approval letter. And I know that from experience that often was not the case, but that's something that, because these documents actually become public on our website. And if they don't align, it could raise red flags. That why are we letting departments just submit documents that they're not really approved, and the match and the funds, the total project costs don't match what they've been approved for. So that can cause red flags. Positions, we did that where you could put the number divided by the like 2 positions and then the number of months. So this is here for your reference in case you wanted to use that. We want to ensure accurate costs in the current ops and future ops by making sure that whatever the entries are, that they match the number of entries. And also if there's a partial, of course, you'd want to match that also. So that the averages come out more closely accurate than if you just put 3, where if this was only 2 months, it really wouldn't match the average. Unhide, of course, unhide and rehide rows. Be sure to enter your final M&O year on that, on your future ops. That's really, really important, and make sure that that is a full fiscal year. So you don't want a partial year for your ongoing costs. Here's that area that I mentioned before, that the approval letter will have something similar to this, where it's going to show what your start date is, what your end date, when your peer is due, what kind of criticality, your costs, 273,494. So you have the 273,494, and then one-time project cost, which is right here. And then you have the 167, which is here, the total, and then the ongoing. Your stage 2, if you were at your stage 2, you could possibly have a stage 2 approval letter. Same thing, they would all match. See how the cost summary would have that 273,494, 2082, so on and so forth. So this is a good place to look to see. This is where the department would be entering the information. This is the PAO manager would be entering this information from the information that's contained on the FAWs. And remember that the rows 14, this is, sorry, that's the typo, 14 through 16 may be used to reduce the funds needed. And if this is used, an explanation is needed for the availability of the existing funds or other funds or OE&E. So it's good to remember that you can do that. However, you just need to have that explanation as to why you're using it. Again, stage 4 approval letter, same thing. It would match your FAWs. This is FAWs. This is your approval letter. This is your stage 4 cost summary for the baseline. And it would show this is what it was during the estimate. This is the final. This is the difference if there were any differences. So, couple key things. If you ever see an NA in your future ops tab, it means that an invalid fiscal year has been used. I mean, sorry, in your funding plan. You need to make sure at least one entry is entered in your future ops for future annual costs. And then also, do not, if you already have a excuse me, 21, 22, the funding is already showing there, so you would not re-enter it there. That means that it's a partial year and it would align with that same fiscal year that's already been entered. There's a sample provided of, this was a file that is in the references or attachments that shows this was a systems integrator solution. So kind of a sample so that if you were looking at, well, how would you do that? You could look at this, and this might provide some helpful tips on how to enter that.